Hello, I'm Dr. PPP. I'm the celebrity guru. I am the marathon man. I am the celebrity guru, award winning author of the book, You Are the Celebrity How to Become Famous. I'm super excited to present you on the Celebrity TV all the way from UK. Yes, the author of the book, The 10 Seconds Technique, 10-second math technique. Yes, and I'm really honored to have him, none other than Mr. Philip Chan. So help me welcome all the way from UK, Mr. Philip Chan. Hello, Philip. How are you?
Well, hello, friends. Thank you so much to be on the show. So I'll say a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to the listeners if they're listening from different parts of the world. And I'm very very grateful for you to invite me on your show. So I'm really looking forward to our chat.
Appreciate your amazing heart and value and time you are going to share with my celebrity viewers. So let's, without further ado, let me ask you, who is this Philip Chan? Tell me your story for me as well as for my celebrity viewer. Go ahead, Philip.
Thank you. Although I'm known as the 10-second maths expert today, if you go back in time with me, back to my school days, my claim of fame was I was actually bottom in every single subject at school, including mathematics. So that's the basis I started from my fame. But also, I didn't like it. I hated being called stupid, dumb. And when I keep comparing myself to my school friends, it was not a very nice feeling. So I then started doing my investigation from the age of about 14 onwards. And also I was very lucky on the way. I also have one or two teachers who actually believe in me, despite not being a very good student. And then the transformations gradually happen over a period of time. So that's the basis. And obviously, to cut a long story short, I've qualified as a teacher. And over the last 45 years, I've been teaching at 9 high schools in England. I've now have run probably about 19 workshops a year, and the audience I have ranged from anything from a small group of maybe about 50 to maybe 600 people. So over that period of time, I have enjoyed sharing the things that I personally have learned. Now, I want to clarify one thing, Previn. If you steal one idea, you're a dirty, low-down thief. Would you agree with me? But if you steal a bunch of ideas, you're doing research. So I do research. So I want to just share with you, the listeners, and also when I do my workshops in England, I would love to come to Canada and elsewhere to share that information, to how to do the 10-second speed maths, because it's a very simple technique. And normally I get a result from most of my students. Now, my students range from age 3 to my oldest so far is age 85. And they all get results within 2 minutes or less. So what that means is there's nothing special about me. So when I share with you how to do it, you too can be actually as good or better than I. So that's a brief story of my mathematical journey. I'm also a member of UNICEF for 54 years, which I'd love to help the organization to raise funds for them. And my books, part of the proceeds goes towards them. I'm also a children's champion to try to reunite a lot of refugees' children who have actually lost their parents, but have families who wants to actually take them in, so become, for their safety. So, in brief, that's my story. So over to you, my friend.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing your amazing story, really. Now, I would like to know that you wrote the book, right? 10-second math technique. So what is that book about? And tell us the story about the journey.
Well,
Wow.
this is my book, the 10-second speed maths technique. although I can teach the whole age range, going from 3 to university level, I want to focus particularly on the young children to give them the basis, the foundation. It's what I call the same but different. And also sometimes the human brain is one of three things. When we learn things, we do one of three things. We either delete the information, we distort the information, or we just generalize it. So what that means is for a lot of us who's learning, if the learning style is not akin with the way we learn, by the way I teach it, often we will actually delete the information, which even is good. The other thing about learning is the education system, especially in the UK at the moment, is not a very good system the way children actually learn. Now, I can't speak that for Canada or the USA, but a lot of the method here is very inefficient. Let me just explain what I mean by that. Suppose someone was a left-handed person, and if you then give them a right-handed tool, they're going to find it very difficult to use that tool. Conversely, if someone's a right-handed person and you give them a left-handed tool, then that is not going to work very well. And for some people, learning is exactly like that, because you have a particular learning style and your trainer, your teacher have actually taught you in such a way that is not actually is efficient for you. Also, I find over the period as a teacher, when I listen to people say, hey, I can't do what you do, because you're such a brilliant person. As I told you, if you see me back when I was at school, that's clearly not the case. Because, I was bottom in every single subject. So if I can change, so can you, my friends. So therefore, learning has to be different from what you're doing. So if you do something that doesn't work, maybe you need to do it differently. So what I discovered when I do my workshops, when I share my method with lots of people, is actually become a more efficient way for them to learn. And that will then stimulate interest, and also then it will enhance their own learning style. So, Pravin, then I'll just let you ask me other questions that you would like to ask me.
Yes, you mentioned during your introduction that you worked last 54 years for UNICEF. Wow, wow, wow. How did you make this happen?
I'll say I don't work for UNICEF. I'm a supporter, so I've been raising money for them in doing different ways. I also give talks in other areas. So what I do is then when I get invited by an organization to give a talk on whatever subject, it could be nutrition, on relaxation, stress management, then all I do is, instead of charging my professional speaking fee, I then give them the address of UNICEF, and they send the donation or whatever contributions they have directly to UNICEF. I started working and supporting a number of charities in the UK over the years, and also charities like Shelter for the Homeless, Oxfam, UNESCO, but other members of the UN agency has got a political side. What I discover, UNICEF is non-political, and also the fact that I become a teacher, obviously, was a natural extension to become working with children. And UNICEF can open doors where a UN agency just cannot. And that to me was a very strong factor. When I first joined a long time ago, the program then was serving 27 countries. Recently, last Christmas, the UNICEF has now actually started a new program, and that program over the next few years is going to start rolling out to 193 countries. And that to me is very, very exciting. Also, what a lot of people don't know, that in the world, there's over something like 300 disasters and incidents every single year. But only just one or maybe two get reported. So the funding needs to be there all the time to help, to cope with those emergencies. And UNICEF is one of the few, well, probably the only organization in the world that have a 48-hour response deadline to get to any country in the world with disaster. And that funding has to be in place. Now, their center is actually in Copenhagen, Denmark. I'm hoping to visit them this November. I was very honored to be invited, and so I would love to go and see how the emergency center operates. So you'll get to anywhere in the world within 48 hours. As an ambassador and also the Gifts and Will legacy, my role is to encourage people to maybe leave something in the will for UNICEF, or actually to do whatever activities, even a small amount. When you put that together, that is so helpful. So the funding needs to be there all the time, 365 or 366 days a year, so that whenever there's a disaster, UNICEF then can send their team to actually help those people, children, families in the disaster zone. As I said, only 1 or 2 I get reported every year, but there's over 300 incidents. Also, of the famine programs in the world, UNICEF really funds about 80% of those programs, and they work in conjunction with other charities and agencies, and that to me is fantastic. I'm just so inspired by the UK team. Recently, in fact, only last week, I was invited to the UK UNICEF summer party at Lambeth Palace, and to get an update. The UNICEF team is just amazing people. They range from volunteers to a very small group of paid workers, but they actually take the lowest they can, because their mission is to help the children of the world and those people in difficulty. So that's a brief area, Pravin, what I do with UNICEF.
Wow. Also, you have a great connection with the Queen of London. Would you please share your information? How did you make that happen, please?
I think, as you know, networking is the key factor. In fact, it's not so much me. It's one of my other friend. He does a lot of work with royalties, and through his connection, I sometimes get to invite to 1 or 2 year the royal event. So but don't tell anyone. I sneak in through the back door. I pretend to be the Chinese waiter, So I've actually written in my book. In fact, I had a letter from Her Majesty the Queen, and also the former Prime Minister, Mr. David Cameron, that they actually have got my book in their library, and also Prince William and his wife Kate has also got a copy. So I hope that they will share it with their children and the grandchildren as well. And hopefully Her Majesty one day, I don't know, I can't know what's going on in the palace, but hopefully one day she'll look at my book and say, "Hey, I want to teach this to my grandsons or granddaughters."
As you said, 54 years you served for UNICEF, but you look like only 54. So how do you stay healthier, happier, wealthier, and stay fit?
Well, I would say, first of all, my oldest son is 50 years old. So I'm a little bit older than 50. I work hard. I participate in lots of different things. I'm a teacher, and also I'm a professional speaker. I also mentor a lot of people in how to write their books. You are a distinguished author yourself. There's a number of my friends in the UK who wants to follow your footsteps, my friend, to become a celebrity, of course. And they want to actually learn how to write their books. So I've been mentoring them. Also, I've got a fantastic friend. Her name is Marina Nani. She has got a radio show called The Radio Works Well. And she used that platform to help people to promote their causes and their gifts and talent. And very lucky enough, she's given me a program now and then. I have connected a number of friends with her, so they can actually have their own radio shows like yourself, who can then share their message. And in whatever area. It could be in charities. They are health practitioner. They may have other people have dementia or other challenge, or they've been through certain challenge themselves, and they now helping other people say, "Hey, I've been through this. I can help you." So I've been very active. Also, the other thing is I have 9 grandchildren, and and they keep me on my toes. So, in essence, yes, I like to keep busy, and I have a number of activities besides teaching, UNICEF work, and other charities. I also coach in public speaking for people. So then, when they go on stage to maybe talk to a very small crowd of maybe 10, 20, 50 people, or maybe as much as maybe 10,000 people. That, my friend, in essence, is what I do.
I love your smile. It's so infectious, anybody could fall in love with your smile even,
Thank you.
And personality, you have such a so gentle personality. You achieve so much in your life, but you're so gentle, down to earth. Wow, wow, wow.
Thank you. Well, I don't know. I'm just me. So I'm just little me. I also went through a lot of traumatic time younger because I was struggling in doing lots of things. Physically, up to the age of 14, not only was I actually a very poor student at school academically, I was like a beanpole, so thin that if you sneeze, you could blow me down. and and I got annoyed with myself, and I can remember just before the summer of my age 14, I got so angry with myself. I said, I got to do something. This is no good. You stay like this. First of all, you never get a job. You'll be stupid, and also, you're so thin. No one want to. Yeah, you can never have a girlfriend. No girlfriend is looking at a beanpole. And also for my personal ego, I started training, and I actually devised a program for myself, and I trained early in the morning, in the evening, and also in the evening before I go to bed. I always train an hour, and over a period of time, I become physically stronger. And then I also got into sports, and I discovered, wow, yes, I can play some sports, and I did reasonably well. So that's the transformation. So if I can do it, anyone can do it.
That's it. That's it. If Philip can do it, you can do it. Wow, wow, wow.
Well, in
My
fact,
question.
when I do my workshop, I normally start off with saying, because I'm the 10-second maths expert in the world, you can never be as good as me. But but once I share with you what I know and you practice that, then you could be much better than me. You could be the 5-second maths expert. In fact, you could be the 1-second maths expert. So, and that is my philosophy. When I share things with you or anyone, I don't want you to be ever as good as me. I want you to be better than me.
Philip, what's your purpose mission?
I think at my age, my mission is I want to share my knowledge with as many people as possible, especially if anyone listening now, if you yourself or you have members of your family think, oh, I can never be, do mathematics, I'm useless, blah, 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 and all these negativity going on. Well, that's the voice that we are talking to ourselves. That's not coming from outside, that's coming from within. So we need to change that mindset. Also, I would love to go to different countries, like in Canada or wherever I'm invited to share that with teachers to change their mindset and change the way they think. I want to create leaders, because for every one leader I create, that one leader can actually influence thousands of people. So when I'm long gone, I hope my legacy is then I can be there just to share. And really, it's not important if people don't remember where I'm gone. What is important is the work I've done over a number of years, and I want to bottle that knowledge that's taken me years, so that I can share with other people in a matter of actually in 1 hour. in the United Kingdom, when I've gone to primary schools to share that, basically in 1 hour of what I do with the children, that's equivalent to anything from 4 to 8 weeks of what they would do in the primary school. I've also gone to the older pupils in the high schools. That's in the UK. Some schools are going from 11 years old to 19. And at age 16 in this country, they do an exam called GCSE, and that's one of the major public exam. I've gone to a few schools when they actually had no maths teachers for quite a while, and was teaching 5 classes together at once. That's roughly about 120 students. There was 2 schools that came after Easter, and they had the major exam in the summertime. So between the time of Easter and summer, I had that short period of time to reteach a 2-year program to 5 classes, actually in 2 lots of 5 classes, should I say. That's over 240 pupils to actually help them through their exams. So again, I can only work with what I got. So deep down, everyone has that ability here. But for whatever reason, they have lost the belief. And I want to just say to the listener, you are fantastic. You have the celebrity in you. You have the greatness in you. So don't go with your normal thinking, because if you have any doubts in your mind, that means somewhere along the line, someone has actually put you down, or you let other people talk you out of your greatness. And you need to listen to this man preference about how to make you the celebrity. So that is my mission we have a common mission to help people to develop their ability and their greatness and their celebrity.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are on the same page, and I know my celebrity they are also with the same page. So let's make world a better place before, the way you born, let's make it better before you leave it, right? Where do you
Yes,
see,
indeed.
Philip, yourself 5 years from now?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Oh, 5 years from now, I would say, first of all, I want to share my workshop with not only in the UK, but hopefully be able to travel to Canada, USA, and South Africa, and different countries to share that. My vision is to actually create lots of little centers in different places in the UK and around the world, so people have the knowledge that I have. In fact, they will go beyond me. As I said, I have taught in this country for over 45 years in 9 schools in this country, and there's so many of my ex-students now in the UK have actually gone on to fantastic things. Some of them have been professional footballers, musicians, artists. Certainly, a lot have now married. In fact, there's some of my pupils, although they had personal challenge, it could be health, financial, divorce, whatever. When you look at their children and you say, wow, how on earth did they get through so many difficulties and to bring up these fantastic children? So for me, that is an incredible success. So when I look at some of my ex-pupils in the last 45 years, I am so inspired by them, and that I have a chance just to share a little bit of their lives. So I want people to say, stop, whatever I'm thinking now, I need to change my thinking, because deep down, I am better than who I think I am. And so through networking with great people like yourself and other coach and mentor, and lucky now, I have over the years realized that to do things my way is no good. Yeah, my thinking at that time it's that small. When I get around to great coaches, then they stretch my thinking, and that's how I become a better coach. So I'm so grateful to my coaches in different countries as well, to actually kick my butt. Oops, sorry, I shouldn't say that. but, but it was necessary. But it was necessary. And also, I think the other thing is that I want to take away the excuses from all grandchildren. So if you know, if granddad is old and got his personal challenge, you know, if he can do it, so can I. So in a nutshell, over the next 5 years, those are my mission. That's more important than what I personally achieve. You know, I want to lay down the seeds for success for other people, and that is my legacy, and that is what I want to do.
Wow, wow, wow. May God bless you. May God bless your family, your purpose, your vision, your passion, and definitely, definitely, definitely,
Thank you.
you are going to make more than the dent in the universe. I appreciate that.
Thank you, my friend. I'm just so grateful that you've given me the opportunity to just share a little bit of my story. So I'm grateful to you as well.
Now, so if my viewer, if you need Philip, to speak for your events in your country, definitely, definitely, definitely. Even though he's the busy, let's he can help you out to inspire you and your audience. And also, if you would like to buy his beautiful book for the kids, it's gonna be amazing. 10 seconds math technique book. You're going to love it definitely. So, how can my celebrity viewer find you?
You can contact me in different ways. On Facebook, I have a page called Jet Set Learning. Alternatively, I got a website called www.jetsetlearning.com, and you can email me on info@jetsetlearning.com, and that's the way you can get in touch with me or connect with me on Facebook.
Absolutely. Could you repeat it one more time, please?
Yes, on my Facebook, it's called Jet Set Learning, or my website is www.jetsetlearning.com, and the email is info at jetset jetsetlearning.com. And then if you email me, I'd love to hear from you, and I would love to get an invite to your country. You know, the last time I was in your country was over 20 years ago. It's a beautiful country. I can't. It's blown my mind, the space and the generosity and the hospitality of the Canadian folks. And so I love to come to your country and other countries as well.
What are the three miracles you have got during writing book or after writing book or before writing your book?
I think the three miracles is one that by writing the book, I got a chance to actually meet you yourself, and then also
Thank you.
also really to meet with great people across the world. I think in the last 2 years since I've written the book, I started my Facebook page with literally two friends, actually maybe three. Once I've written my book, and then my mentor saying, don't have a blank screen, because I was so shy on my Facebook. I had no picture. It's just my name. That's it. Until my mentor said, put a picture on there, and then other people got in contact with me. I've now actually got friends from easily over 40 countries now. That's miracle number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is 7 years ago, I had an operation that removed a tumor from my spine. The hospitals lost my paperwork for 2 years. So by the time they operated on me, the tumor gone into my nerves at the back, so hence they actually cut out some of the nerves. So technically, I'm actually a disabled person. I should be in a wheelchair. But through writing the books and also the inspiration from other people and meeting different friends, I'm now working on my right leg. Although I'm in pain 24 hours, I'm actually walking. You know, so I'm not in a wheelchair. The mushroom shrinkage on my right leg now seems to have stopped, so it's not getting any worse at the moment. So thank God for that. Again, it's about the mindset. So I went from a disabled person, that's DISABLE, to this able person, THIS, able person. And my friend Marina Nani actually very, very gracious has written a book about me, and it's called This Able Person. That's THIS. And she is going to have the book launch for me in the UK, 2nd of October this year. But she hasn't let me see what she's written yet. So that's going to be interesting.
Absolutely,
And,
Philip.
and a final miracle, I think, is then I had no way of how I can share my vision, my technique. And through writing the book, through meeting different people, doors are now start to open. And I hope in the coming few years, I can now go to different countries to share my idea, my skills. But actually, as I say, it's not really my skill, it's the research that I've done. And these techniques have been over anything from 100 to 1,000 years old. So I said, if you steal one idea, you're a dirty, low-down thief. But if you nick a bunch of ideas, you steal a bunch of ideas, you're doing research. so I'm sharing my research. So I want to share my, 40, 50 years of research to everyone. So you don't take 40 years to learn this. You will do it in a much, much shorter space of time. So that is really the 3 miracles I have done since I have actually written the book.
Wow, wow. Would you like to share anything is missing which I didn't ask, or you would like to share for last moment? Go ahead. This is your moment to share.
Yes, I think one of the biggest thing over the years, I realized that when we make a decision by our experience, we will always limit ourselves. You can't do everything yourself. And it's important that you get yourself a coach, a mentor to take you out of your comfort zone. And in fact, unless you get out of your comfort zone, you will never grow. So it's important to have a coach or mentor to actually say, hey, you can do better. Don't look small, don't think small, think big and dream big. And don't let anyone take away your dream, because everything that's happened in the history, someone, somewhere, sometime, it started with dream. And when they have shared their dream and vision, the first reaction is everyone saying, no, that's stupid, rubbish, blah, blah, blah. But thank goodness they had the toughness to say, no, I'm going to hang on to that dream, despite all my peers saying, you can't do this, you can't do this. So therefore, think big, dream big. And I look forward meeting to your listeners and different people in the world. So wherever you are now, it's not important, but it's where you're going to be by preparing to take actions, to change your thinking, get around great people, and the great, like yourself, of course. You can then become your celebrity, because don't look at other celebrity, look at yourself, because you are fantastic.
Wow, wow, wow. Again, thank you so much, Philip, for sharing your wisdom, sharing your expertise, and sharing your heart. Thank you so much.
Reverend, thank you for your graciousness to have me on the program, and thank you, my friend.
Believe in your wildest dreams. Don't let anybody steal your dreams. Just do it now. If Trump can win, so can you. You have the celebrity day. You have the celebrity life. You are the celebrity.